Is knowing relative or absolute?
It's absolutely relative. Who knows? What can you know? And when we consider the potential of a human being as consciousness, super brain, super intelligence, the whole universe becomes knowable. If you think for a second, Einstein knowing what gravity is as applied to the entire universe, that's a big deal. Relativity. So he had big visions to see and hear that, know that for himself. He may not have originated the idea because it's given, it's part of our intelligence, so it really doesn't have a time. It may have a circumstance, but not necessarily a specific time, but it will manifest in time. But then the conditions have to be right for that. Like, you are right, you're born under the right conditions for you. Everyone is born under the perfect conditions for themselves. There's a law we can't grasp that's behind that, your time and then your end, your disappearance. So there are certain levels of knowledge that we have to experience directly as human spirits, and we can. We're here to do that. We're here to help each other understand what that means. Some things we can't know, so we just have to be. Say, well, we can't know the future yet, but we're open to knowing the future as much as we can receive that knowledge. So you can dream about the future. So you need to be open to dreaming about the future you're let's say, capable of knowing, that you are responsible to. See? That you're ready for knowing. See? You have to be ready for the knowledge. Because sometimes people see and hear things they're not ready for, and it doesn't enable them to function directly. It confuses them. They say, oh, I had a dream, I couldn't understand a word of it. You see? That's the mind. See? So they may not have been ready for it, yet they were ready for confusion. See? And to know that is knowledge. To know that you are confused is very certain knowledge. We need to know when we are confused or not confused.
So does knowledge become a cumulative process?
It can, depends on your perception of what it is. It can be an instant knowledge, like or it can be sequential, or it can be direct, immediate.
Does the acquisition of knowledge represent a change of karma?
Acquisition of knowledge, sometimes. Because you may not be ready to hear something, right? You may not be ready to hear bad news, let's say. It changes your whole state. The idea is, if we're here, we want to be ready for everything. See? Not open to everything, but be ready to embrace what comes down the pipe for you. And better to have an understanding of what it is. Better to understand time. Better to understand change. See? As machinery, rather than who you are. But as something you need to pass through, which is true. That's truth. You will pass through time. You are born to die. That is a truth, a fact. It's a factual truth. The body is not yours. It's a factual truth. The body is borrowed from your parents. That's a factual truth.
So in that sense, is our identity...
Borrowed. It's mocked up. It's fake. You have no identity. Worth. Suffering. That's the good news. Don't suffer yourself. Don't suffer yourself.